right now, the city of West Palm Beach, as we've been telling you for the past few days, we're constantly monitoring the track of Hurricane Dorian. This morning at 12 o'clock a.m., I signed an emergency order for our city. We've gotten some positive news over the last few announcements of where the storm is headed, but let me emphasize we continue to remain vigilant, and we urge all of our citizens to continue to remain vigilant. This is not a time to get complacent. The city's Emergency Operations Center is now activated at level 2, and we are in the process of implementing our comprehensive emergency management plan. We also continue to be in contact with and work with our counterparts at the local, state, and federal agencies, as well as our other partners. Again, our number one goal is and has been and will remain the protection of lives in our city. Now, according to the National Hurricane Service, life-threatening storm surge and dangerous hurricane force winds are still possible along portions of Florida's East Coast by the early to middle part of next week. Dorian is forecast to slow down and turn northward near or offshore off the coast, but it is too soon to determine where or when the highest surge or winds will occur. Again, that is why it's so important that everyone remain vigilant and constantly monitor the alerts as they come out. Residents should have their hurricane plan in place, know if they are in an evacuation zone, and listen to advice given by local emergency officials. Now, given the latest track, we're cautiously optimistic that we have dodged a bullet for now. We're not out of the woods by any stretch. We're not out of the danger zone. And I say that because a major concern will continue to be winds. We may get tropical storm, maybe even hurricane force winds over the next few days, and that can cause a significant amount of damage. With that damage, life after the storm becomes very, very complicated. There may be down branches, down power lines. We will probably have some flooding in certain areas. So it is very important for everyone in our city to shelter in place until we give the all clear. Just because the storm may have passed does not mean that conditions on our city streets are going to be safe. Immediately after the storm, the city, first responders, we have a number of personnel out doing damage assessment to see what work needs to be done. FPL trucks will also be out there. So again, we're urging people to shelter in place until we give an all clear, even after the storm passes. As to flooding remains a possibility, even if it stays off of our coast. So we'll continue to monitor all of our streets closest to the water. We'll also monitor all of our lakes and canals. Please remember to keep storm drains clean of any debris to minimize flooding. As for evacuations, we should have more information about possible evacuations after the 5 p.m. update tonight. When we have that information, we will share it with you. Again, this is a county call. Obviously evacuation will extend beyond the city's borders, so it's really the county's decision as to what zones, if and when they will evacuate, and what zones they will evacuate. But if you are told to evacuate, please do so. You can learn what evacuation zone you're in by going to our website, WPB.org/storm, or floridadisaster.org/know-your-zone. Let me repeat those. WPB.org/storm or floridadisaster.org/know-your-zone. With respect to sanitation, we have asked people not to do any landscaping at this time. We're not going to be able to pick up any debris at curbside. We have suspended all garbage and landscape debris pickup indefinitely. We understand that the local landfills are closed on Monday and Tuesday. While we expect to resume sanitation service on Wednesday and Thursday, you will still have to wait for more specific information along those lines. Debris left curbside can clog storm drains and exacerbate flooding, so please do not leave any debris near the curb. We've received a number of questions about parking. Now, our city garages are open for residents to park their cars. Parking is free for those who want to bring their vehicles to the garages for protection from the storm. Once the garage is filled, that's it. So if you plan to put your car there for protection, you should do it sooner. Right now, I think there are still a number of spaces available in our city garages, but we can't guarantee how long that will be the case. And again, once they're filled, we won't be accepting any more cars. And remember that once cars are parked there, they won't be released, or the garages will not be open for you to get your car until there's an all clear notice. And you'll have 48 hours after the all clear notice to remove your car. After that 48 hours, there will be an assessment of $10 per day for each day past that 48 window. And barricades will be in place to limit access. Barricades are already in place, limiting access to one entrance and one exit point. And in closing, again, I urge and encourage everyone to continue to monitor all the updates regarding this storm. The 5 o'clock and 11 p.m. updates will be very telling. You can monitor the actions taken by the city by visiting our website at WPB.org/storm. You could follow us on social media, and you could certainly subscribe to my newsletter. Just visit WPB.org/insider. I'm joined by Assistant Chief Brent Bloomfield and Assistant Chief Sarah Mooney, and we're happy to take any questions at this time. Yes, Doris.
Contact from the White House?
Have I had contact from the White House today?
Yeah.
I mean, not today, but I have been in contact with them generally, yes.
And anyone in particular there, or?
A gentleman named William Crozier, who is I believe the liaison for municipal governments. We can get you his title. Any other questions?
I mean, if you just talk a little bit more about, you wake up this morning, you see that it's not, like a couple days ago it was coming right here, and now it's, it's not. What are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling relieved. Relieved, but not complacent. There's still a lot of potential, just like we woke up this morning and it seemed to have shifted. We could wake up tomorrow morning and it could go back. It all depends on the vagaries of nature. That's above my pay grade to figure all that out. So when I woke up this morning, I was happy that it seemed like we were escaping a lot of the more intense damage. But there's still work to be done, and there's still potential damage from flooding, from high winds. And as I said, life will change, and it will be less comfortable for a number of us after the storm. There'll be power outages. And we won't have some of us won't have air conditioning. So we're continuing to ask people to be patient. We as a city are a strong city. We will get through this, and let your better angels rule. Be patient with everyone. We're all in this together, people.
Chief Bloomfield?
Yes, sir.
Any idea yet on the timing of when this building shuts down and locks all your officials in?
So we discussed that. Depends on what the 5 and 11 o'clock forecasts are. If 5 and 11 o'clock forecasts show a shift back to the south, and it looks like it's more coming at us, we will be here first thing tomorrow morning at 0800. All the officials. However, me and Chief Maddie and some of the other staff will be here through the night. Our call takers will be here through the night. So we are already staffing the EOC. It's just a matter of how much we staff it. It depends on the way that the storm veers tonight going into tomorrow morning. So if we get a direct hit, we will be staffed up first thing tomorrow morning, and we have made sure that everybody knows that.
Thank you.
Okay.